all for being here. Thank you, Dunbar Jazz Band. You guys sound awesome. My name is Jason Perkins Cohen. I'm the director of the Mayor's Office of Employment Development. Again, thank you for being here for this kickoff celebration. It is a cold, dreary February day, which makes it the best day to talk about summer. So indulge yourself. You know, think about it as 80 degrees and sunny. The kids are at a school, ice cream trucks rolling down the street, because we're going to take you to the summer right now. So this is a kickoff. It's also Super Bowl week. Our youth employment program, of course, is we've all had summer jobs before. It's 5 weeks starting at the end of June, 5 hours a day. But Super Bowl week, and it's a kickoff, and we know sort of what kickoff means, right? It's the start of something. But if you think about it, what's the next thing that happens, right? The team runs down the field, unified, all for the same goal. Well, I think of you guys as our team, our YouthWorks team, and we're about to be kicked off. Madam Mayor, I think you're our kicker today. And we're going to run down the field with a common goal. But before we look forward, I do want to take a moment to look back at last year. That's part of the Super Bowl too. Last year was a remarkable year. You know, we had the unrest, and we changed the goal. Every year for many years, the goal had been to help 5,000 young people get a summer job. And after the unrest, the mayor and co-chair Don Fry, who you'll hear from both of them in a moment, said we can't do 5,000. We have to do 8,000. And I have a little bit of a confession. It's good to do confessions sometimes in public so you don't get in trouble. You know, when the goal was changed from 5 to 8, I was very focused on the number, because you get a task, especially a big task, and you put your head down and you start thinking, how are we going to raise money for 8,000 kids to go to work? How are we going to find 8,000 jobs? That is a massive number of jobs. That made us one of the biggest, just summer youth, made us one of the 5 biggest employers in the city of Baltimore for that summer period. So I was very focused on the jobs, the matching. And it wasn't until sort of the day before, it was a Sunday before YouthWorks started, where I realized we were going to make it. I mean, it came down to the wire. And then I sort of sat back and I thought, okay, well, wait a minute, is everyone really going to show up? So we started calling houses just to make sure. We'd sent the emails out, and we thought they were going to show up, but we wanted to be sure. It was Sunday afternoon. By the way, the office was full of people who had volunteered, so every stereotype that you have about city workers, you can throw them out. Sunday afternoon, people had come back from church to help us. And I started calling parents, and or households, the very first family I called, a mom answered. And when you tell a mom that her child, she doesn't have to worry about her child, she didn't know what he was going to do all summer, and now he has a summer job that's going to be great for his resume, and it's got money in his pocket, and you get her reaction, you know, you realize you're doing something big that's different than just numbers. I had it reinforced when the mayor and I went to one of the healthcare institutions, and about 20 young people came out dressed in their hospital scrubs. I mean, think about what that means for their resume to have worked at a hospital, and they were beaming with pride, and we went to thank them. And the nurse came over to us in tears and said, don't thank us. We needed to do this. We needed to connect to our community better. Again, it's not just about the numbers. Later in the summer, I went to the west side where they had painted 6 murals. And I expected just to hear from kids or see the kids who had painted the murals and the artists and the parents. But it was a much bigger community gathering. And you heard from folks who came out when the kids were painting the murals outside and brought them water, made sure they had hats. It's not just about summer employment, it's about a community-wide endeavor. If that wasn't enough, the final sort of epiphany came for me just a couple of weeks ago, June 4th. We had opened up registration for this summer. And honestly, I had lots of stuff going on that day. I was doing my thing. And about 5 o'clock, I got an email that said, something's happening. 500 kids have already registered for YouthWorks. on the first day. Now this is something that you can register for until mid-March. We're talking about teenagers. I have a teenager at home and one who's going to be a teenager in a month. Registering for something 2 months early. 500 kids did it in the first, by 5 o'clock. By 9 a.m., another 500 kids. Today, about a month in, 7,500 young people have started their registration. Remember last year, the total number was 8,000. We got 5 weeks to go. I think I'm comfortable in saying we're going to crush that number. But it's not about the numbers, right? What does it mean when so many young people are registering, teenagers, so far in advance? To me, it means two things. First of all, our young people want to work. That's really significant because it breaks down a lot of stereotypes about young people, particularly urban kids. They are anxious to work. They are signing up for a job 6 months away, 2 months early. That's really important. The second is about their experience last summer. If they weren't having an enriching experience, they wouldn't be signing up. And it's also a message to all of us that they're putting the challenge out to all of us saying, I want to work, I'm doing my part. Now we need to fulfill our part to them and make sure that we have a job available for every young person that registers. It's incredibly important. And I want to thank you. I know you're going to get thanks over and over again. We could not have done it last year without you. We can't do it this year without you. So I want to now introduce our kicker, the chief of our team, Mayor Rawlings-Blake, who made a personal commitment. She's made a personal commitment every year, but especially last year, and is not just standing up in front of a podium. It's going out, talking to the young people, making sure that they're registering, they're doing their part, and we're able to make this happen. Mayor Rawlings-Blake.
Jason, thank you so much. I like being the Jason Tucker of the team, especially with his record. I feel very confident that we're going to get to our goal this year. Thank you all for being here this afternoon. Jason's done such a fantastic job in his role as director. He really hit the ground running. You didn't really have a lot of choice. Right after he came on board, he was hit with this goal of, a significant increase in youth employment opportunities, and he really rose to the challenge, and I want to thank him for his advocacy on behalf of Baltimore's young people and his relentless pursuit of the connections that are needed to ensure that our young people are able to meet their employment goals. So many public agencies, community organizations, private sector, companies as well as individuals came forward last year asking how they could help after the unrest, and Moet responded by providing a meaningful opportunity to invest in Baltimore's most vital resource, which is our young people. Everyone here understands clearly that YouthWorks provides an essential platform to build upon past strengths, from enriching opportunities to network, to create productive work experiences for our young people during out-of-school time. Applications, because of the strength of our program, and we have an award-winning summer employment program, applications continue to rise every year, and as Jason says, we expect this year to be no different. Thankfully, local employers have risen to the challenge, and we're here today to say that we need you again. We know that we need to scale up the number of opportunities. We need to scale up the funds that are raised, because while we know that there are many employment opportunities that fit for young people, there are many people that might want to employ a young person, but the jobs that they have available aren't a good fit. But there's still an opportunity to support a job placement by making a donation. So if there's a business, a small business or a not-for-profit that might not have the wherewithal to bring on a young person, a hire one youth, that donation, that contribution can help fund that position. So we are excited to offer opportunities for young people between the ages of 14 to 21. For any of you who have the pleasure of living with a teenager, you know these are some of the best years, right? And when Jason told me the numbers that the number of young people that applied on that first day, I was blown away. And at the same time, I was motivated because I knew if our young people are speaking so clearly with a voice that is saying what they need from us as the adults in our life, in their lives, then we have to answer and answer in a big way. So I want to thank the people who came forward, stepped up to the plate in a big way last year to help us achieve our goal and responded with city and state funding for more than 3,200 jobs, including more than 650 jobs for young people living in foster care, which was a big help. In addition, more than 30 city and state agencies and elected officials supervised more than 1,800 young people. On a special note, I want to thank Dr. Thornton and the school system for stepping up with real work experience for our young people. This year, I hope that our government and community partners will continue to support at the same level. And a special thanks also goes to the foundations and organizations that provided YouthWorks with more than a dozen, provided support. More than a dozen individuals contributed $5,000 donations or more. And of course, a major thanks is due to our local business community. Our strong relationship with the business community resulted in 180 private sector employees hiring and supervising 744 young people through Hire One Youth. I want to thank Don Fry, who is our coach. I don't know if you want to be Ozzy or you want to be Harbaugh. Which one do you want to be? Yeah, you want to be Ozzy. That'll be good. You have I think a good track record for spotting talent. And I want to thank you again for your leadership in bringing the business community together. A personal thanks to Ron Daniels, President Daniels, and the staff at Johns Hopkins for their special interest in providing valuable work experiences for our young people. I know that, I hope that they are committed to doing the same thing, and I want to thank again Hopkins and want to give them a big round of applause, because not only do they step up with Hire One Youth, but also with their Live Near Your Work, and they've really stepped up under President Daniels to be the true partner, civic partner that we need them to be. So I'm going to give them a big hand. And also, I forgot to give a shout out to the Casey Foundation, which came through in a major way. So as Jason stated, increasing the number of job matches from 5,000 to 8,000 in 2 months was an extraordinary accomplishment. I know Michael Cryer understands that as well. He was you were on the team. I'll put you as a coach too. You can pick your coach, your coach title later. But a big help in that push to close that gap between the number of jobs that we needed and the young people who had signed out. So what about this year? And how can we be sure that we raise enough money and identify quality work experiences to offer 8,000 young people or more summer jobs in 2016 at a cost of $1,500 per placement? The need for funding is greater than ever, and I know you understand how investing in youth work brings many returns on the future workforce. So I am hopeful that you understand that anyone can make a tax-deductible contribution to YouthWorks through the Baltimore City Foundation. Organizations interested in becoming a YouthWorks site can apply online. Interested private sector businesses can become a Hire One Youth employer. We've had a great success of turning these opportunities, these summer opportunities, into year-round employment, and many of our young people who participated in Hire One Youth have really found what they want to do in life. This is not charity. This is not altruism. This is about creating the next generation, investing in the next generation workforce, and we can do that together. We want to make sure that we are participating as partners in grooming that next generation. So I know I'm supposed to talk about a whole bunch of other stuff, but I think that'll be about it. We want your money. We want your jobs. I try to make it simple. In 2016, I'm #unfiltered. So we want your money. We want your jobs, and we want you to understand as deeply as we do how meaningful this is for our young people. Every time I think about those young people we visited at Union Memorial, it gives me chills, because you can't buy that. You can't bottle it, you can't buy that. But when we come together, we can invest. Those young people were bursting with pride because they knew that they had done something, they had contributed, they had helped those patients. The patients were proud and grateful. The supervisors were proud of the workers that they had helped mold. These kids, you know, and I know, I mean, I have a 12-year-old, she's late, we're late for everything. These young people were showing up early every day for work. This is what we can do together to replicate that. We have exceptional young people in our city, and if we come together the way that we did in a crisis, if we can do it when it's not a crisis, we can avoid future crisis. And that is my plea to you today. So I want to thank you all. I know that you're going to remember what we need, money and jobs. And I am going to ask what is Ozzy's title? GM, our general manager, Ozzy Newsome, Don Fry, to come up. Thank you so much for your leadership, Don.
Madam Mayor, thank you very much. And again, thanks to all of you for being here. As you've heard, 2015 was certainly a very challenging year for Hire One Youth. The demand of summer employment exceeded our previous years and also, quite honestly, exceeded our expectations going into the year. But thanks to those of you in this room and many others, Hire One Youth once again grew and delivered real positive outcomes for the youth of the city of Baltimore. Special thanks go to Jason Perkins Cohen and his entire staff at the Mayor's Office of Employment Development for tremendous effort, not only in registering young people, but getting them prepared for the job, teaching them things such as soft skills that are so important in today's world of employment. So please join me in thanking Jason, the Mayor's Office of Employment Development, for all their great effort. And of course, a special also thanks goes to Baltimore City Public Schools, who was very instrumental in helping us, I guess, overcome that hump that we had to achieve to really make sure that we are accomplishing our goals as the summer came to the beginning. Those of us who live or work in the city of Baltimore are very fortunate. We're fortunate because of just all the amenities that Baltimore City has, whether it be the Inner Harbor, whether it be the great neighborhoods that exist, whether it be the museums and tourist attractions, our sports teams, our world-class medical facilities. But the one thing that we're also very fortunate that in 2012, we had a mayor, Mayor Rawlings-Blake, who had the vision and the foresight to create Hire One Youth and to help it become what it is today. So please join me in thanking Mayor Rawlings-Blake for her leadership and vision for this perspective. Engaging the private sector, making a summer job experience as close to a regular employment opportunity as possible, making it clear, as the mayor said, that having a job is not a matter of charity, but really is an opportunity. That's what Hire One Youth is all about. It's an opportunity, obviously, for the young people. They get a chance to see what the workplace is like. They get really a real life experience going through from an interviewing process to all the other skills that are required to maintain a job, to see what job credentials are required for them if they want to pursue a certain career or activity, and maybe to see where their skills apply and maybe where their skills fall a little bit short. But it's also a great opportunity for the private sector, because the private sector gets to see also what our future workforce is going to be like, and they get to see what skills and talent already exist and what educational attainment has already been achieved, but also maybe to identify and to be a mentor and to help people move through the process and maybe help that individual discover that maybe they need a little bit of special work on this particular area, or maybe this is a skill and talent that they have that really could be directed someplace else. So it's a tremendous opportunity both for the young person, but equally for the private sector and businesses. So that's why it's really important for the business community to really step up and really make this a part of our community obligation to help bring together young people, bring them into the fold of the workplace and show them what's in store for them in the future, but also to learn ourselves what's in store for us with the type of talent that we have moving forward. So I think that we as employers need to emphasize that to other employers and urge you to do so each and every day. Again, to those of you who participated, thank you. We certainly urge you to come back again this year and urge you to even step forward and ask to your friends and your cohorts in the business community about the great experiences that you had, how you felt, as the mayor talked about the feeling when they saw Union Memorial Hospital, how you felt working with a young person and how that brought some fulfillment to your activities as a private sector employer, and to also get them to participate as well. The mayor said we need two things. One is money, and the other are jobs. So I just talked about urging people to come forward and give us additional jobs and urge you to do so. But at this time, I'm going to take the first step toward the money and ask Mark first, who is with United Way, to come forward. And Mayor, if you would join us. My understanding is that Mark has with him a check in the amount of $35,000 from United Way to present for Hire One Youth.
and we'll be bringing on some young people in our 211 helpline. You have to have a social work degree to be able to answer the calls, but you don't have to have a social work degree to update our database, and that's what we're going to have them in the summer.
So it's easy for me to talk about how effective Hire One Youth is, but it's probably better for you to hear from someone who's actually been on the ground and has some really firsthand experience about the impact it had for their company and also had for the individual. So it's my pleasure to introduce Molly Joe of Hazen and Sawyer, an engineering consulting firm, and she will talk about the experiences that they have had being a part of Hire One Youth, and the company has been a part of Hire One Youth since 2012, the initial year the program was created. So Molly, thank you.
Good afternoon. My name is Molly Joes, and I am an engineer with Hazen and Sawyer. Along with my colleagues at Hazen, I have served as a liaison for Hire One since 2012. I would like to thank the mayor and the mayor's office of employment development on behalf of Hazen for giving us this opportunity to share our experience with Hire One Youth. Today, I am actually here to share the story of George Boswell with you. George came to Hazen through Hire One Youth in the summer of 2012. He was a hardworking and determined young man. He returned again the following year and the following winter and has been returning every year since then. He just finished his winter internship with us a few weeks ago, and we look forward to having him back in the summer of 2016. When George came to intern with us in the summer of 2012, he was a 16-year-old high school student. Today, George is 19 and a sophomore at Morgan State University. And I'm proud to tell you, George is majoring in electrical engineering. It's important that George's story be told. So we see the importance of community involvement in providing opportunities. Those opportunities, along with the job preparedness that Hire One Youth provides to thousands of youth, helps pave their way to success in life. Investing in the younger generation, our future workforce, helps pave the way for employer success too. The skills George has developed through his experience with Hire One makes him an asset to our organization. Through our participation in Hire One, we've learned the importance of engaging with young people. We have seen that mentoring can make a difference in our youth and to our business by introducing them to various potential career paths, besides providing invaluable real-world experience. At Hazen, we will continue our commitment to this initiative and continue serving as ambassadors for Hire One Youth. We truly believe that there are no opportunities in life that are big or small. It's what we make of those opportunities that makes a difference, and George Boswell is proof of that. I hope George's story will inspire more people to participate in Hire One Youth. Thank you.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. My name is George Boswell. I'm currently an intern working for Hazen and Sawyer, which is a leading environmental and water research engineering firm. I first got the job through the Hire One Youth Works program back in 2012 after my athletic career was kind of derailed due to an injury. So I was just hoping to find a summer job that I would enjoy, and thanks to the Hire One Youth and Youth Works, I did. Before I actually got the job, I had to attend the job readiness training, which helped me a lot. It taught me things from how to write a resume and how to prepare for a job interview, which ultimately I believe got me the job at Hazen and Sawyer, as well as Johns, where I'm also currently employed. Hire One recommended me to work for Hazen and Sawyer, helped me determine that I actually wanted to become an engineer, which is why I decided to take it up at Morgan State University, where I'm finishing out my sophomore year. And just working with Hazen and Sawyer has been a great experience. It's a wonderful company, and I've been going back since 2012 every year. I've been able to build great relationships with everybody in the office because they're so welcoming and willing to help me as I work with the company. And by working with engineers on a daily basis, I've learned how to work in a professional environment, how to work with other engineers in order to complete a task. And I even learned things that I haven't learned in school yet, which I also feel like it will put me one step ahead. I learned how the office operates and how everyone impacts the company's success, and I just wanted to be a part of that success using my personal, intellectual, and engineering skills. And they allowed me to do so, assigning me bigger roles as I proved I could do the smaller ones. For an example, I've had the chance to visit an electrical distribution plant where I was taking measurements and doing research on things for replacing within the plant. And for me, that was just a great and inspiring experience because I was able to see what type of things are we doing once I start my future career. And I'm really looking forward to working with Hazen and Sawyer permanently after I graduate from Morgan. In conclusion, I would just like to thank everyone who was a part of the Hire One Youth. I am standing here today talking about my experience and the path my life has taken. And this wouldn't have been possible without the opportunity provided for me by Hire One and Hazen. I would also like to thank Hazen and Sawyer for allowing me to prove myself as the hard-working, motivated, and determined young man I believe myself to be. My success has motivated my younger siblings as well as my friends. I wish everyone who is a part of the youth Hire One program for success. I hope my success will encourage more people in the community to participate and give opportunities to young people like myself. Thank you.
Okay, so the ball has been kicked off. Thank you, George, and thank you, Molly, for your great stories. I think it's it's a really perfect example of a terrific young man who got exposed, got an opportunity to see an operation and an opportunity to get exposed to an industry, and it's clearly changed your life. And now you're in school, you're going to be an engineer in a few years, and it's congratulations to you. And we just need to make more of these opportunities. Now comes the hard sell. The mayor and Don sort of set me up. It's very clear. Every time you all offer an opportunity, it's a young person who's going to get a summer job. But for you, they won't. So when we get a phone call from an employer that says, I'm able to take 10 young people, that's 10 young people who will get a summer job who otherwise would not. For those, as the mayor and Don referenced, for those that their situations don't allow them to offer summer jobs, checks work too, because they create jobs. We're able to put young people in public agency jobs. So every time there's a contribution of $1,500, it goes straight to the foundation. It's tax deductible it's dollars in a young person's pocket. They get paid minimum wage for the hours they work. So it's a direct transfer or indirect transfer through the foundation. For my friends at MOED, I see some of you over there. If you could raise your hands, Michelle, Carrie, Kate, Harriet's out there somewhere. First of all, thank you guys for your ridiculously tireless work last summer and what you've already done this year, and I'm thanking you in advance for tireless work this coming year. you have in your packages a card where you have the opportunity to make your commitment. And Bryce is going to give it to me so I can hold it up so you can see it in case you couldn't identify it. Please, it's your opportunity to make a pledge right now, either for a job or for money that will go straight to the young person. Please don't delay. Remember, those teenagers, they're not waiting. 7,500 of them have already signed up. We really need your commitments early so we can start making the matches and young people will know they have this opportunity. I want to thank you. I want to thank all the people who made last summer possible. And now I want to thank you in advance to run down the field with us and help to make sure that 8,000 young people this summer have a job as well. So thank you again for being here. Please hang around, network, and enjoy yourselves. And I look forward to being here next year and reporting on our success. Thank you.